I think it's still happening here, and the vibe of music is what makes us special. Hi, I'm Gerry Murphy. I'm a guitarist and a producer, and this is how it all began. Well, I started very young because I had a very musical family. My Uncle Harry on my mum's side, and Uncle Harry was into jazz music, and my Uncle Peter was into bands like the Shadows and stuff like that. You know, my dad was into that sort of stuff. And then got into the Beatles, of course, Jimi Hendrix, then obviously your gods of rock, your Eric Claptons, and it went on from there, really. I was playing in the clubs, you know, around that time. Then I met Billy Kinsley from Liverpool Express, and of course he was an original member of the Mersey Beats. So I did some shows with Billy Kinsley as Liverpool Express, and then started getting into the 60s sort of swim. And then, of course, I met Gerry Marsden, sort of 30 years ago now. Started playing the Cavern Club as a regular musician there. I've had many people when I played out in Belgium and all around Europe. And when they come to Liverpool, first thing they want to do is go, obviously, on the ferry boat and the Cavern. I think the music is still very much in the city, particularly down Matthew Street, obviously. It's very diverse, Liverpool, because we've still got up-and-coming great musicians who are writing their own stuff. I think it's still happening here, and the vibe of music is what makes us special, I think. The way I met Gerry was wonderful because we were on the ferry boat doing a charity show, which was my band, and Gerry was the guest of honour. At half-time, Gerry came over and he said, do you mind if I get up and do a few songs? I'd never met him before then, you know. And I said, of course, I'd be honoured. So there we are, up and down the River Mersey. And Gerry singing Ferry Cross the Mersey and all of his hits. And Ray Ennis, the swinging blue jeans, played with him as well many times. And he still sings, you know, Hippie Hippie Shake in the same original key. And he's 80-odd now, you know. Gerry was very humorous, very witty, and Gerry was a brilliant technician on stage because he could command an audience. He had that stage presence about him. There was a few times when we did charity events and stuff like that, and Gerry just turned up to support it. He was a very good all-rounder, Gerry, very good with his chord work, but then he could play something like Johnny Be Good. You know, he'd do something like and he'd do all that, you know, all that lead stuff. It's actually turned into 2 albums plus an EP single of Gerry Marsden's very last work. And we've got a record company called Last Night from Glasgow, who are basically an online shop where you can order it. And we've decided to release it on the 10th of April at the Cavern. What happened was in 2019, I asked Gerry to the studio here in Glass Studios on the Wirral. He said, I haven't recorded for years. And I said, you've still got the voice. I've got a song here that I've written for you. So anyway, I sent him a demo. And he was away in Spain. And he drove his poor wife, Pauline, mad with the song. He kept listening to it. And when he got back, he said, I'll come in and record it. And then it led to us doing a studio album of 4 of Gerry's songs. But then I thought, well, let's try and get the other guys who I've worked with involved. So we got Tony Crane and Billy Kinsley from the Mersey Beats. These are all original great stars, you know, from the 60s. And I got Mike Pender, the lead singer from The Searchers, Ray Ennis, who I mentioned before, from the lead singer from the Blue Jeans. They all agreed to do this album. We did the studio album. And then that led to a live show at the Philharmonic. I must mention Mike McCartney on that show. I asked Mike to do a narration for us on the album about the 60s, and he came up with a beautiful track that I did the music to, and he did the words to it. It was a fabulous intro to the show. There was a lot of humour going on.
The 60s, a decade to remember. Social revolution, a breakthrough in music, flower power, free love. The 1960s is known as the decade which shook the very foundations of the world, unlocking the shackles of post-war austerity of the 1950s.
I'm Alan, Alan Lewis from Glass Studios. I'm responsible for all the faults in this thingy.
Our team was Alan Lewis because he was the engineer on the whole project for the 60s albums. And this is Alan's studio as well. So when Gerry and all the guys came down here, Alan made them feel really welcome. It was great because we'd recaptured these wonderful songs from over 60 years ago, brand new arrangements, but also with a string arrangement as well. The good thing about this was that they could all still sing. And then we've got Gerry's single, the very last song, an original song that's never been heard, which I was proud to write for him. And it was just a very emotional occasion, even thinking back on that now. We didn't know that that was going to be the last time we'd ever hear Gerry sing.
Loved every second of it. And his wife even commented, you know, just how much he... So
Yeah, Pauline, Gerry's wife,
retirement.
when he got home, she phoned us up and she said, tell Alan that Gerry's buzzing.
There's no place in the world like Liverpool.
I would say if you're writing songs and you want to get your own stuff out there, obviously social media is great now. It wasn't in our day. We've got some brilliant recording studios up here and brilliant places like Lipper, who will always help. LMA, of course, as well. You know, and of course, LA Productions.
If you love doing it, then you'll put your efforts in, won't you? But you just got to keep trying. It's you can't say, I'm there now. You've always got to sort of pursue what you want to do. And there's places to go. Some brick walls, you'll hit plenty of brick walls along the way. But you climb over them and carry on.